How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang! It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to another Finely Edged production for the Premier League Cricket Club. Connecting players and coaches, clubs and leagues, volunteers and supporters alike, you're in the right place for the best of the 33 ECB Premier Leagues and the 20 NCCA counties, bringing you the stories, the stats and the standout performances that make this game great. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to both our Premier League and NCCA shows so you don't miss any episodes. Now, shall we get stuck in? So welcome everybody to the National Counties Cricket Show, and it's the T20 NCCA Finals Day this Sunday at glorious Wormsley, where Oxfordshire will be playing Norfolk, Northumberland will be playing Dorset in the semi-finals, and then immediately afterwards there will be the final to crown this year's T20 National Counties champions. Had the pleasure this week of catching up with players from each of the four counties, so enjoy these little chats with Will Tripconey, Tom Hinley, Ross Whitfield and Freddie Ferry. So I'm with Will Tripconey from Dorset, looking forward to this weekend's NCCA T20 Finals Day, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks, Ian. How are you?
Yeah, all good, thanks. All good. Now, I've got to ask you a really basic question. Are you not tired yet? You've played 53 games of cricket this year, Will.
Yeah, I mean, I was checking the old stats the other day, and I don't think I played more than 30 before this year. So yeah, the body's sort of taken a hit. But I mean, because it's gone so well this year, I'm enjoying every game, and it's literally flown by. So it doesn't feel like 53 games, but yeah, they're racking up, and still got obviously finals day on Sunday, finals day Sunday, club Saturday, and then last 3 days against Cheshire next week. So yeah, probably 55 I'll finish on, I reckon.
Absolutely. And I think fingers crossed, you're on 1,988 runs so far this season over all 53 games. Yeah, fingers crossed you don't have the biggest disaster in the world and not make 2,000, because that'd be a great number to put on your CV, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I've been eyeing that up. I think I've been on about 1,900 for the last week. So I've tried to keep that in mind for the end of the season, because, I mean, 2,000, I guess it's quite a rare sort of thing for the season. Yeah, it would be a nice little personal milestone to go along with the other success with Dorset.
Yeah, and that's the key reason for talking today. That success with Dorset this year, I mean, I've talked to Webby about it, I've talked to Matt Burton about it, talked to Connor Smith earlier in the year. What the hell's going on down there in the water? Because this year, everything's just going on the up, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just all come from sort of the environment in the team. Like, every time the boys are rocking up, like, the atmosphere has been unbelievable, and lads are wanting to come from outside the county to come in and play. So that sort of just shows the sort of atmosphere that we're creating. And then also, we're just having so many sort of standout performers each week. You've got lads like Connor Smith, Cast with the ball, and they're sort of setting the tone with that. And then myself, Churchy, and the Eklund brothers, Webby included, we've sort of done well with the bat. And it's sort of, there hasn't been sort of one or two people standing out. You've got 6 or 7 that are contributing each week.
Yeah, most definitely. You've got Connor Smith, who's the leading wicket taker in all NCCA this year. But the batting in particular, I think, is fascinating. Going into this weekend's finals day, the top three batters in T20 cricket and NCCA this year are all Dorset. Dylan Church, Finn Gordon, Will Tripconey, and no sign of the Eklund brothers in the top 10, ironically. You three, what's just clicked for you guys there to be, you're averaging 50 between you?
Yeah, I mean, us three have got the team off to decent starts for most of the comp, and that sort of has come through just that sort of relaxed atmosphere in the team. Like we're going out with real like positive intent, and there's not really any fear of failure because we're backing the other lads. If we don't do it, we're backing the other lads to do it. So yeah, like me and Finn have been opening the batting, and I mean we have a laugh out in the middle, but we sort of know we back each other, and yeah, it's really come off this year.
You say about having fun in the middle. We recorded this on the back of a ridiculously good win for Dorset yesterday over Wales National County. You didn't even get to bat in that second innings because Will LaFontaine-Jackson and Dylan Church just took Wales apart.
Yeah, well, halfway through that game, we thought it was going to be a tight one. I mean, I think Wales got 340 first innings, and then we matched that second innings, and then our bowlers Connor Smith and Mo Abbas sort of tied up each end with the spin, and yeah, we restricted them to a pretty gettable total, we'd say. Mm-hmm. And then, well, we did not expect Churchy and Wilf to go and knock it off none down, but that sort of just shows like we've still got 4 or 5 batters in the hut that like we've got so much firepower in that batting order that even if they didn't go and do it, we're back in our 3, 4, 5, 6 to go and knock it off. So yeah, I mean, it just shows that like Wilf coming in first game and him performing as well as he did, it sort of just shows like the atmosphere that we've created is so easy to come in and do well. So yeah, that's probably why we've been real successful.
All the way back to the start of the T20 competition, I think what I find quite fascinating is that in the group games, you guys just had this ridiculous record of played 2, win 1, lose 1, blowing 1. Never got 2 over the edge, but it didn't really matter as long as you got through until the Super 12s, didn't it?
Yeah, we have this joke that we couldn't win 2 in a day. Like it was just something, I don't know what it was, but yeah, we tended to do well in one game and then the other game might not go our way. But I mean, we were still, at least we were getting wins throughout those days, and that sort of just added up, and yeah, it got us over the line to Super 12s. And then going on to that day, we just literally, like with the bat, ball and in the field, we were just like exceptional.
Well, you come to Super 12s day, and to beat Berkshire and Suffolk, who would be classed around a lot of the national counties as two of the big hitters, especially in T20, yeah, it was an almost perfect day, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Berkshire have been, like, they've been very successful over the last few years, and going into that, we knew how sort of good their squad is and all the success that they've had in these competitions, and we had that in the back of our minds, but then we've done so well throughout the year, like it was just another game for us, and we 100% knew that we had the ability and talent to go and beat them. And yeah, I mean, I can't remember what the actual score was that game, but I'm pretty sure it was a pretty all-round performance from everyone.
Yeah, 177 played 117 all out in that game, which was a very dominant performance. And I've got to ask, do you think the boys over at Berkshire are a bit sick and tired of seeing you lot this year? Because you beat them in the semi-final of the trophy as well. You knocked them out of the T20 more or less, but you buried them in that one, didn't you? I mean, you're losing friends in Berkshire, mate.
Yeah, well, we've done very well to beat them twice this year, and I mean, again, that's a very big achievement that we found. Like they've probably been the top county over the NCCA for the last few years. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the big achievements of the season is doing the double over them. But yeah, that's credit to them. Like they've got such a strong side, and being able to say that we've done the double over them is, yeah, it's a real big standout for our year.
So earlier this season, you were in the winning team to win the trophy. Got to ask a really obvious question. If you'd have started the season and said, which one do we think we're going to win or get closest to, would it have been the T20 or would it have been the 50 over?
A good question. I reckon the T20 can go sort of anyway, as in like any team could win that. Whereas I feel like the 50 over, you've got to have a real strong sort of, just, well, in general, you've got to have a real strong team, but obviously the T20s can be won by 1 or 2 guys, whereas I feel like the 50 over games rely on more contributions from the team. So I'd say we'd probably have a better chance in the T20s, but then we didn't know how well we'd start the season, and all the lads that came in and performed like they did. It wasn't. I mean, we wanted silverware for this year, but did we expect to be in the final for the T20s and win the 50 over? Probably not. But I mean, we've done it now, and no doubt next year we'll want to win again.
And is it fair to say, therefore, having won the 50 over, is the pressure off a little bit on Sunday? It's a bit of a free hit.
Yeah, I mean, that helps a lot going into Sunday with a 50 over white ball win. And it also sort of, for the other counties looking at that, puts a bit of pressure on them, seeing that we've done so well this year, and they're going to know that we've got a real strong side out coming off the back of that win at Chester Boughton Hall. Mm-hmm. So, and also for the lads playing, I mean, it carries that momentum into the white ball. I feel like T20 is a lot of momentum, momentum based. So yeah, carrying that into the Sunday game is going to be massive.
And you come up against Northumberland, you're coming up against some of the other big hitters in the T20s there. You know, John Oswell should be there to bash the ball around, Ross Whitfield. Have you done that research already? You guys have got the plans in place, and I'm guessing Connor's going to be trying to tie one of those ends up in particular.
Yeah, we don't know loads about them. Obviously, they're a bit further away, and we haven't really come across them in competitions recently. But yeah, we've seen they've been doing well, and we're sort of just going to take it on the day how it is. And Connor, I mean, I was looking at his stats. I think his economy for the year is 3, and that's including all the T20s. So no doubt he'll go pretty well on Sunday.
Yeah, not bad for a guy who was injured earlier in the season in particular.
Yeah, well, on Sunday he said his back was hurting, but he'll push through.
He still bowled in a 3-day match, and he still took lots of wickets, which is what he's been doing all season.
Yeah, well, with all the finals that we've got to, I mean, that means he's bowling way more overs than he has done in the past, but it's only good for him.
Absolutely, definitely. Hey, great catching up with you today, Will. Have a good one on Sunday. Should be a cracking first game against Northumberland. Who do you fancy? You don't need to say who's going to win your game. Who do you fancy if you get through, Oxfordshire or Norfolk in the final?
We've seen that Norfolk have done well in white ball in the past, but again, Oxford, they've got a pretty. I know their seam attack's pretty sharp, so I'd probably say Norfolk. Not knowing much about them, I feel like if we were to go into that final, I think we'd come out on top.
Great way to finish. Have a good one, mate.
Cheers, Ian.
So with Tom Hinley from Oxfordshire, looking ahead to this Sunday's finals day for the T20 at Wormsley. How are we doing, Tom?
Yeah, all good, Ian.
All good.
Yeah.
Back from training at Worcester, but being brought into the Oxfordshire squad for Sunday.
Yeah, I'd say I've probably not played as much for Oxfordshire as I'd like to this year, but it's been pretty busy.
It's a good reason not to.
Yeah. It's obviously good, but at the same time, I enjoy playing for Oxfordshire, and it's been nice to manage to play the Super 12s and now play finals day this weekend.
Absolutely. Now, you guys got to the Super 12s as I think it was one of the best third place guys there. You came third in your group, scraped through, I think is the best way to put it in the end. But then Super 12s was a weird day, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I didn't manage to play any of the group stage games, but so yeah, the lads scraped through, and then had to travel all the way down to Cornwall for it to play 2 5 games pretty much. But I think we backed ourselves out of the 3 squads there. We backed ourselves with the quality we had we managed the game right to be able to get through, and it was a bit of a free hit for us in terms of we probably shouldn't have been there, or were least likely to get through based on tables. But I say with what we had in the locker, we backed ourselves fully.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And Northumberland were very similar. They were in third place in theirs when they got through to the Super 12. So it is a free hit, like you say. But a free hit in, I mean, you made a bit of a name for yourself in T10 cricket in Europe in Cartama. But this was T5. I mean, come on.
Yeah, the old F5. I say it was a weird format because it was like you had bowlers were still allowed to bowl 2 overs. So, if everything goes well for you, you've probably only got 5 or 6 people actually bowling or batting in the game. But I said it took everyone's it was a great fielding effort from everyone, and then see Andy having Wardy and they're whacking it at the start both games, and then all the bowlers bowled really well. And we think what got us through was our game management almost, and working out what worked on the pitch, even though it was such a short game.
I
think we read conditions.
Yeah, I think when you look at the hitting on the pitch, I mean, Wardy with 34 off 16 against Wales, you with 14 off 4. There's only one way to go and play in a 5-over game, isn't there? Full stop. You just got to get as many on the board and just see where you're at.
Yeah, exactly. It was like we were basically all just padded up, and it was like going in. Basically, whoever Wardy or the coach thought was best suit for next over just got sent in pretty much. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, looking at the squad that you've got down at Oxfordshire, would you say that one of the strengths this year has been the seam attack in particular?
Yeah, I reckon so. Obviously, Davo's been a great addition the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Generally, bowls generally good pace, and there's not a load of that around in the NCCA stuff at the moment. But all round, like we got good all rounders and like everyone knows what they're doing, and we've got enough experience in and around it to help if anyone needs a hand. And it's obviously handy as well having the likes of like Tatey, all rounders that you would pick just as a batter or just as a bowler, and he's good to do both. And we've got a few people that are like that. So overall, we've got quite a nice balance in the team. Yeah,
and I think the other thing I look at your squad is it's a real mix of experienced players, but younger players as well who are very experienced now as well. Tatey's a good example.
Yeah, I say I've not been around loads this year, but it looks like, I agree totally. The last couple of years, that's what I felt. And then this year as well, we've had some of the younger lads that I've not had a chance to play with yet, but they've been coming in and doing well as well from what I've seen. It's been been good for them in terms of they've got those experienced heads to talk to that have been around and played for years for Oxfordshire and know how to win these sort of game. Hopefully we do it again Sunday.
Yeah, and obviously Wormsley, you couldn't think of a nicer place to go and play a finals day, really, could you?
No, I mean it's quite handy because it's sort of a home game for us, really. We play some of our games there, so
yeah,
hopefully we'll have a little head start there. But I say, it's a lovely ground, lovely area, quite a big ground for a team, so it brings the bowlers into it a little bit more.
Yeah,
it's probably which team bowls the best will get through, I reckon.
And I've asked everyone this question, and I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm not going to ask you who's going to win your semi-final, because obviously you're going to back yourselves. But if you get through to the final, who do you fancy, Northumberland or Dorset?
I reckon I've never played against Northumberland, but I reckon I'd have to say Dorset. I reckon I know a few of their lads, and it would be a nice one to beat them and get one up on them, I reckon.
Yeah, they are the form side in the NCCA this year without an absolute shadow. And funny enough, Dorset haven't played Northumberland either, so there's a bit of a different one to play there. But you'd love to come up against the Eckland boys and obviously Finn Gordon and those guys, Will Tripconey, have all been in the top run scorers this year.
Yeah, I say, well, they won the 50 over comp, didn't they? I think, and they've got a lot of good players. Even though they've lost a few, like Scotty Youngie aren't playing anymore, but they've still got a very strong side. So yeah, I reckon it'd be a good game if we got through and played them.
And it would be wrong of me not to have you on and just ask you very quickly, how have you enjoyed this season with Worcester, your first full season with them?
Yeah, really enjoyed it. I say they've got a great environment here, and I've really just felt like I've fit in quite well, and they've lads have made it really easy to do that. And just I've made a lot of new friends, and hopefully, we'll see what happens at the end of the season, but yeah, hopefully it may continue.
And it looks like a really good group when I've been around them a couple of times this season. It's a young group, isn't it, which helps?
Yeah, I say, but it's nice that sort of you're mates with everyone. There's no real big dogs that don't want to talk to you or just ignore you. Really, everyone's really nice and humble. And yeah, like you say, you've got a nice mixture of youth and some of the more experienced players. And yeah, it's been great.
But it won't be Worcester this weekend. Back to Oxfordshire. It's been one of your favourite things to do over the past 4 or 5 years and play for Oxfordshire. So you must be really keen to just pull that shirt back on and fingers crossed get yourself to a final.
Yeah, well, hopefully, I say, because I've never had a final for Oxfordshire. We were doing well last year and then it rained. We felt a little bit not robbed there, but a bit hard done by there. So hopefully this year we can make up for that and go all the way.
Brilliant. Well, have a good one, mate. I can't be there, unfortunately, because I'm elsewhere on Sunday. But we'll be keeping close eye on the scores. I think it'll be a fascinating game, whichever way it goes.
Yeah, perfect. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers now. So with Ross Whitfield from Northumberland, looking forward to this Sunday's finals day at Wormsley. How excited are you, mate, to be making that trip all the way down Saturday night to Wormsley?
Yeah, well, not too excited for the trip down, but certainly excited for Sunday. I think it's a really good opportunity for the team that we've built over the last few years to really show the skills to everyone in the NCCA what we're about, and I think we've got a really good chance of setting a mark down there.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting, looking at your progression to finals day, I mean, you just about scraped through the first group, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a bit of a stinker down in Cheshire. I think we done a lot of hard work and we had a few good results and let ourselves down in Liverpool with two bad games. But you know, stuff happens like that. Not everything's gonna go tickety boo the whole way through. So, but we played really good in the Super 12s and we got ourselves through.
And I think that's the key to this format, isn't it? That because three sides went through from the group, actually it didn't matter to a certain extent whether you went first, second, or third. Obviously, first you'd get a home advantage in the Super 12s, but that meant that 2 out of 3 were not going to get a home advantage. So it's just a question of getting into that group, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's where we went straight away. It's going to be easy if we get a home draw, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much. It just makes things a little bit easier. But we managed to do it. Yeah,
most definitely. But then you came up against what I'd class as one of the bigwigs in terms of T20 when it came to Cumbria and against Cambridgeshire in the Super 12s. And you got to ask you, how pleasing was that game against Cumbria?
Yeah, well, not so pleasing in the first 4 or 5 overs when I think Fallows had us about 90 for none after 5 overs, maybe. Something around them. So I think the thing is with T20 cricket and with the group we've got is we just always got to believe. And the game can change so quickly. I'll even use the last 3-day game we've just played as an example. So quickly, both teams lost 4, 5, 6 wickets for 2 runs. So the game can completely reverse and change on its head in such a short period of time. So I think if you just hang in there, we were, like I said, we were down the barrel at 80 for none, 90 for none, and the game changes fast. We managed to get them down, I think, to 160 it was, somewhere around there.
170 for 8 in the end, and you're right.
170, yeah. And
Freddie had done what Freddie does and got 74 off 22 balls and was blasting the ball all around the place. But you then started to take wickets in that game, and Liam Gray had been drafted in by Cumbria, one of the best all-rounders in the country when it comes to Premier League cricket. So by the time you'd taken a couple of wickets and you had them in the sort of 100 for 3, then you were in the game, weren't you?
Yeah, definitely. And I think when we kept them for 170 at that ground on that pitch, we thought, you know what, we've got the baton definitely to knock this off, and we were pretty confident.
And you couldn't have got off to a better start between yourself and Alistair. To get down to 74 without losing a wicket when they've got an opening bowling attack of Liam Gray and Sam Sharp, and then Freddie to come in and bowl his spin. You could have asked for a better start.
Yep, exactly like that. Just trying to set up a platform for the lads coming in, and then once we got ourselves a start like that, we used John Oswald as our floater, and we just use him whenever we feel need. And with a platform like that, we brought him in at 4, I think, and him and Alistair seen us through.
Yeah, as floaters go, John Oswald 67 runs off 34 balls, 6 fours and 4 sixes. He's done all right this year as Mr. Oswald, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. It's he's doing it scarily often is the thing. He's doing it quite frequently. So it's unbelievable to watch. Hopefully he brings his best down to finals day and everyone can see it. I'm
going to ask a really sort of rounded question based upon a couple of names that we've used. Is John Oswell your Freddie Fallows, basically? When it comes off, you know it's going to go big.
I would say so, yeah. But he also he does have 2 sides of his game as well. So he does have that side, and he also has his proper cricket side as well. So he's a really talented player.
Absolutely. And, getting through that Super 12s, beating Cambridgeshire and Cumbria, you couldn't have asked for more, really. It was, a relatively straightforward day in the end for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Pretty much going down there, we knew straight away we needed 2 wins because you don't want to be scraping around everyone, beating everyone. So we went down with a simple game plan and we ended up delivering.
Absolutely. And obviously in the game against Cambridgeshire, it's nice to see that, across the board players were getting some runs, whether it be 16, 13, 28, 25, 43 from Youlden. Everyone was chipping in. And you aren't just a team of one or two players. It is a team, some of its parts, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a really talented squad. Like you said, that first game, everyone contributed. I mean, Chris Youlden played unbelievable in seeing us over the line, really.
Yeah.
With a really special innings of 40 odd not out.
Yeah.
But like you said, we got a really good squad.
And how important's Callum Fletcher been for you guys? Because he is the leading wicket taker for Northumberland this year. And if I remember rightly, I think he's the second leading wicket taker in T20 this year across the whole of the NCCA. How important's he been?
Yeah, he's just a workhorse. I mean, you know what you're going to get day in, day out with him. He just runs in, he knows his strengths, he knows what he can and can't do, and he doesn't move away from it. You couldn't ask for anyone else you'd want to have in your team because he just tries hard, chucks himself around the field and gets wickets so often.
And you're going to go up against Dorset on Sunday in that you're in the second semi-final. And you've got the top two bowlers in NCCA T20s playing against each other there with Callum and Joe Carson. Slightly different bowlers, it's fair to say?
Yeah. So I'm sure we'll find a way to combat it, but we're pretty confident with Fletch on our side. He's such a skillful bowler, so hopefully we go in. He does well.
And then when you look at the batting side between the two sides, John Oswell is the sixth highest run scorer in T20 this year so far in the NCCA. But you have got the top three run scorers for Dorset are the top three in NCCA. Is that what you've been talking about as a group in terms of got to nail those boys down?
Yeah, so that was the sort of thing we've been speaking about. We've got a really strong top five, top six. They've got a lot of talented batters, but we've always said it, like, look, the game changes so fast. At the end of the day, we're all cricketers. So we've got to get the wickets at some point. But that'll be the main thing we're focusing on. That top five is pretty destructive. So if we can contain them, we'll have a good chance.
And how nice is it to play against a county that basically Northumberland don't get to play against very often? Unless you get to a final or finals day, it's nice to play against these opposition that you've not seen, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone born Norfolk, I've never even travelled to, never played against at all. Like we spoke about last time, you only get to play teams that are in your group or in your championship side. So it's good to play against opposition you haven't even seen before.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think that's the beauty of finals day. I'm going to ask you a very simple question to round off. I'm not going to ask you who's going to win your game because that'd be totally unfair. But who do you fancy in the other semi-final?
I'd like to beat Norfolk in the final.
Okay, why is that?
Yeah. Don't know. I mean, they give us a good old beating the other day in the 3 days, so it'll be nice to get one more back up on them.
And it also means you haven't got to put up with Harrison Ward and Tom Hindley in the Oxfordshire side.
Also that as well. You don't have to fetch the ball.
No, but I think that's a good thing. You don't get to play Norfolk very often either. But it means that to play them, on the back of what happened a few days ago, happy days.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant. Hey, great to chat, Ross. Have a good one on Sunday, mate, and enjoy that drive down on Saturday night. It'll be late when you get down towards Wormsley, without a doubt, but at least all the boys will be together and you'll have some fun.
Yeah, it'll be good. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. So with me now is Freddie Ferry of Norfolk, and for those of you listening to the Premier League Cricket Show, you'll know that we like to say that Freddie, when he's playing for Downham, if the Wilcox boys don't get you, Freddie's been getting the runs anyway. He's had a great season. Great to see you on the show, mate.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolute pleasure. Talking about Sunday, T20 Finals Day. You've just told me off air. First trip to Wormsley.
That's right. Yeah, I know. Very excited. By all accounts, it's a special place to go. So, looking forward to seeing what it's all about.
Yeah, and if you get the weather down there, it is without a doubt one of the most beautiful places to play in the country. But you don't do bad in Norfolk for one or two decent grounds either, do you?
No, well, our home ground, lovely Stowe, is we very proud of our work there.
Absolutely. Hey, T20 Finals Day. I'm not going to say you guys made it hard work to get there, but losing that first T20 of the season, and then beating Lincolnshire 1-1 after the first week, you went on a nice roll then the next couple of weeks, winning 2 out of 2, didn't you, each time?
Yeah, we did. Like, it's T20 cricket. I think there is definitely a trend across the board where teams will win one and lose one in the day. So, if you get off to a bad start, then heads don't or shouldn't drop too much. Always a chance to turn it around, win that second game. And actually, something which is probably really pleasing is the 2 weeks where we went double wins, because that is also, you can very easily win the first game, drop off and relax, and actually get rolled over in the second. So, yeah, pretty pleasing.
Yeah, and I think when you look across the NCCA group results at the start of the season, there were very few people won back to back. So to get into that position was a wonderful place for you. Obviously, Cambridgeshire with 5 wins out of 8 as well. They were pretty close as well. To go through in second place, more than happy to do that. I'm sure you guys were into those Super 12s. And then, Herefordshire and Staffordshire. It was always going to be a tough ask on both of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And we had a bit of weather up there, so we ended up with just straight T10 games.
Yeah.
So again, it can only take one player to have a day out, and suddenly you're in an uphill battle. But yeah, to come away with 2 wins against 2 very strong sides, yeah, again, very chuffed. And yeah, here we are off to Wormsley. So
absolutely. Going back to the group games, I've got to ask you, as a Norfolk player, how pleasing was it in particular to do the double over Suffolk?
Yeah, always. We've got some good rivals in Suffolk and Cambridgeshire, and actually Lincolnshire as well, not too far away. So there's always that sort of local competition, and you're playing against guys who will do week in, week out for club. So yeah, always pleased to get one over them.
And that's the nice thing, playing in the East Anglia League as you do, you literally come across these guys week in, week out. And whether it be the Brett Stolworthys of this world who, when it comes to East Anglian cricket, you don't want to be coming up against him very often. But on your side, you've got one of the legends at Norfolk. You've got Sam Arthurton.
We do. Yeah. No, Sam's a great competitor, great leader. And yeah, he certainly leads the way with the bat too. So to have him at the helm with what is still a pretty young side is, without a doubt, a big benefit.
And do you think that's part of the, shall we say, the reasoning for this year's success and going as far as you have, is that mix of that little bit of experience that Sam brings together with 1 or 2 others, and then the raw talent, to be frank, of a bunch of young uns that you've got who are actually just showing what you can do?
Yeah, I think we're in a sort of, we're on an upward curve, hopefully. As we pointed out, young side, but with some really experienced heads at the top. And they probably give us the direction we need, and lead from the front with their performances. And ultimately, we've got some young guys who have actually got a lot of experience in NCCA cricket now.
Yeah.
And I think that's starting to show.
Well, leading the way this year, as we said, Sam is leading the way with runs for Norfolk across all competitions. But when it comes to the T20, Freddie, you're the man. Between you and Ben Wilcox, you two being the highest run scorers across that. What do you think the key to that is with you in that format?
Probably just being, batting at the top is a sort of very niche position in T20 cricket, I'd say.
Yeah.
And just being very clear with your game plans, staying calm in what can be in the power play, a very quick blast 6 overs. So being really clear with your game plans, and reading the field as well. I think that's a big pointer.
Absolutely. And looking at the bowling side, Joe Everett's taken 15 wickets in the T20 so far. And, Hamidullah Kadri with 12 wickets. 2 totally different bowlers, but just showing what they can do.
Yeah, they absolutely know their disciplines, and they nail it in 2 very different sort of respects. So yeah, lucky to have them performing like they do. And then as you mentioned earlier, some experience with Brett and Andy. So yeah, we're covered on a good basis there.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the beauties of what we're seeing across the NCCA spectrum these days, that those older, shall we say, heads over the age of 25 in particular they've all been around and doing this job for a long time and doing it very, very well. A lot of them are the guys who we say, how the hell did they get a county contract at some point? But then you've got the young guns like yourself coming through who are all going, where are these going to get county contracts as well? Because there's so much talent out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's probably the way that NCCA cricket wants it to be. So bit of success for them in that respect. And if there's more of a pathway for young players to develop onto the professional game through this branch of the cricket setup in this country, then it can only be positive.
Yeah, most definitely. And then obviously looking forward to the weekend and Sunday's semi-final. Oxfordshire for you guys. Yeah, I'm sure you've had a look at what they're up to. They've got a very strong seam attack in particular this year, it looks like. They've got the big hitters of Harrison Ward and Mr. Tom Hindley coming down from Worcester to play for his home county, which we know he loves doing anyway. Anything you've been looking at there in particular?
We've had a look at a few things and spoken as a group, and we'll be keeping them close to our chest.
But it's all about what you guys do on the pitch at the end. I'm sure you guys fancy yourself against anyone.
Yeah, ultimately you look at what the opposition do, but number one is to make sure you're doing what you can best and executing your skills. And if you can say you've done that and you come off on the wrong side, then there's been nobility in that.
Absolutely. Just going back to that Super 12s, I mean, you played T10 cricket that day. Did that give you that sort of taste of potentially what the challengers are playing and going out to Spain in the autumn?
Yeah, I guess it's a straight match-up format-wise, isn't it? It's just a totally different format once again to T20 cricket. Quicker, more intense. So yeah, it's just you got to be adaptable. That's the main skill, I'd say. And those who adapt and stay calm typically come out on the better side.
Absolutely. Talking about the better side, I've got to ask you before we let you go. Not going to ask you who's going to win your semi because you're bound to be backing yourselves, and so you should. You get through to the final. Who do you fancy coming up against, whether it be Dorset or whether it be Northumberland?
Look, on our day, if we play to the best of our ability, we fancy ourselves against anyone.
But which one of those you think will get through?
Honestly, T20 cricket, it's a lottery sometimes.
I think that's the perfect way to end it, and that'll be the perfect way to look forward to Sunday. It can be a lottery. We know that the first 5 overs can blow anyone away one way or the other, and the last 5 overs can blow anyone away one way or the other. Thankfully, the weather looks great, and hopefully you'll have a great first trip down to Wormsley, Freddie.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. Thank you, Ian.
Brilliant, mate. Thanks for joining us at the Premier League Cricket Club. We'll be back soon with more from the world of Premier League and NCCA cricket. But in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review and follow us wherever you get your socials. Or maybe check out our website, premierleaguecricket.co.uk, to stay updated. Until next time, have a good one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.